Judging by the amount of people that have been watching the fat tire video, I'm guessing y'all are kind of curious about putting some big fatties on your car. Great idea. The more rubber you put, the cooler it looks, in my opinion. So I'm gonna continue this segment, series, bunch of videos, whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna continue going on this route and give you all a look-see on how she's gonna look when it's done. But today the wheels came in and the tires. So today I'm going to test fit the tires because test fit the wheels, excuse me. Once you go ahead and put these tires on the wheels, you own them. You can't send them back. So what I'm going to do is today, I got a little bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and just test fit these wheels and let y'all come along. See if they fit. If they fit, they look good. Because I'm going to have about an inch bulge on either side, which I believe they call, let me think, section width. The section width is not the same as the tread width. So we've got 10.5 inches of tread width on the back. So that's going to give us about 11.5 at least of section width, which means the tire is going to bulge out another inch on each side. So we want to make sure we've got room for that. So I'm going to test fit the wheels. I'm going to bring you all along, and then before I air this, I'm going to go ahead and get the tires mounted. So first thing, if everything looks good today, tomorrow I'll drop the tires and wheels off, and we'll get them mounted, and then we'll go ahead and put them on the car and let y'all check it out. So let's go ahead and get started. Well, here we go. This is the moment of truth. Here's the wheel. Let's see if, man, she looks so big. And everything looks good, so let's see what we can do. We'll line her up. They're aluminum, but honestly, they are not as light as they look. So here we go. Not too terribly heavy, but they're not super light either. Woo! Look at that. And they fit with very little to spare. The tires are going to get up in here somewhat. So let's go ahead and measure the tire off of there. But the wheel is looking good. We've got about an inch before she's touching, and I think with suspension travel and everything, that's going to be sufficient. And the tires are going to be, let's see, I ended up getting 17s, so 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So we got 9 inches. So half of 9 inches is going to be 4.5. So that's going to give me 4.5 above. So let's get a measuring tape and see how that's going to look. Well, she's going to stick up about 4 inches from the wheel. Oof, that's big. We are stuffing some tire in here, just barely. So 4 inches is going to put me right about in this thing right here. So on a big bump, we might get a tiny bit of rubbage, but I'm not thinking so. We still got plenty over here. Let's see, this is about 4 inches all by itself, right? So let's just do that. So she's going to come up here. I think we're good all around, folks. She's looking perfect, so our measurement paid off. The only thing I'm seeing, nope, we're either good. Nope, we're a little outside the wheel well. About a half an inch. That's what I was afraid of. I guess I should have gone 10 maybe instead of 10.5. So we are going to be a little bit outside. But I've got ample clearance. Should be okay. I was hoping to tuck them in. I knew 3 inches was going to be pushing it, and I was right. I probably should have stuck with the 10s. But I ended up not being able to go 28 inch. It was just, couldn't get them. I just couldn't get them in the width I wanted and the height I wanted. So I had to compromise and get 25.6, which is basically about a little over half an inch bigger than what was on there. So really my tire is only going to be about there. So I've got ample room. So we should be good. It's going to look pretty sweet, I do believe. And we'll get the tires mounted tomorrow, and then hopefully the day after I'll go ahead and shoot the video with, finish this video with the tires on here and see what you think. But let's go ahead and do the front ones now. Now it's time for the front runners. So we'll take a look-see here. A lot of wheel there. And these are 9.5 wide. They're not quite as wide as that other set. So let's go ahead and stick these on here. These are not quite as balanced as those other ones. Well, they're not quite on there either. That might be why. There we go. Jeez. There we go. Oh, these wheels are so nicely balanced. Look at that. It doesn't rock at all. Now there's gobs. When I say gobs, I mean gobs of space in here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheel, because we had on this side in the front is where we had some clearance issues. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the wheels. Oh, wait a minute. Making the carnal mistake. I got to load the suspension. Well, here we go. Take a look at this. See that sway bar? Can you see that? It is literally centimeters from hitting that. Now, if we get our measuring tape, and we're looking at 4 inches sticking out. No, it's the thickness of the tape measure, right? She's going to hit. So I've got 2 choices. I've either got to get a smaller wheel, or I'm going to have to weld in a stop. We should be good here. Yeah, we are. We're good here on the 4 inches. And actually, yeah. So we're good everywhere but here. She is going to hit on the inside, which is really odd since I went with the same rear set or back spacing as the original wheels, not the ones I'm taking off, but the actual originals. So making sure, I'm going to go ahead and measure this, make sure that I am not grabbing the wrong wheel, that these are the 10.5. Nope, they're 9.5. Actually, they're a little over 9.5. These are, no, they're 9.5. So these are them, and they have a 6 3/4 back spacing, which is exactly what the original wheels for this car had. But as you can see with your own eyes, these wheels are like just barely not touching that sway bar. But with the tire on there, she's definitely gonna hit in there. So maybe I was I should have been a little more conservative on that. But I think I'll just put a bump stop in there because I kind of like the fat tire thing. There's a lot of tire in there. This one, I knew I had 2.5 inches when I started looking at wheels. I saw them with 3. I could have got a 10-inch, probably should have. But yeah, I like fat. So there's going to be absolutely zero room in the back. In the front, it's going to limit my steering somewhat. I'll just put a bump stop. I'll weld in a stop on that so it won't rub. And that'll be that. But this is the tire. And this is what I kind of wanted to show you this. Here's the original, well, the one I had on it. The original tires are actually fatter than these that somebody had replaced with on this car. And like I said, these are 18s. And these are the tires we're putting on it. Now they don't look overly fat probably in the video because I'm looking through the little video screen here. But if you compare them, look at the difference. These are what's on there. That's what's going on there. And they're butt to butt. And this one's kind of at an angle though, so I don't want to give you, you know, the wrong impression. But that's what we're looking at right there, the difference in size. Maybe it would be a little more easy to see if we do it this way. I've got so much stuff in this shop right now, I can't hardly move. But there we go. There we go. Now you can see with them laying next to each other just how much difference there is in the thickness. So these are the tires. Now the one I'm comparing it to is the rear tire, the back tire. So, and it's a little bit fatter than the other ones, but not a whole lot. You know, so that's kind of what we're up against. It's not perfect science. If you really want to tuck them in there, you need to probably be a little more conservative. I was conservative on that BMW I showed you in the other video, and honestly, I could have gone fatter. So this time, I went the other direction, and we'll know better once I get them mounted and put them in there, but I'm pretty sure she's going to rub in the front if I don't put some kind of a stop in there. And the back, she's gonna stick out a little bit. Not a lot, half inch. And actually, with the way the tires are rounded on the corners, if you look, you can see that the tire is kind of, she's a little rounded right here. That might help tuck it in. But let's see, let's go this route. And I'm going to go ahead and measure on this tire here. I'm going to go ahead and measure this tire here and see just how wide we're going. And we are, wow, yeah, we're at 11 to this spot right here. And so going out the section width, we're like 12 and a quarter. These are going to be darn close. So, the front ones for sure, these are 11 section width and exactly 10 here. So, not a whole lot of difference between the two. And like I said, we'll see how they look when we get them on. You guys let me know if you think I should have been more conservative. But I'm liking it because I like big and fat tires, and you know it may be a little bit more hot rodish than I planned with the tire sticking out a tiny bit. And maybe we can put a flare on there and make her, that's not a half bad idea, make her a little bit wider. And you know, I'm okay with that. The fronts are going to fit underneath. In fact, let's do that. Let's go ahead and take a quick see, and we'll put the hood down and see just how we're looking on the hood. I believe we are super, super golden on the front ones for sure. Oh yeah, we're inside, barely. We're inside of the lip, which is exactly what I wanted for the rear. So maybe I should have got the same size wheel both all around, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sending them back. I'm going to go ahead and mount them, own them, and we'll see how much the tires are in there. Like this one, I don't mind welding in a bump stop. And on the back ones, if I got any room in the rear, back here, I'm going to go ahead and maybe, you know, well, nope, that won't work. Can't go that direction. Never mind. Forget I ever said it. If it was the other way and I wanted to come out this way, I could always, you know, put a small plate back there. But we're probably just going to have to stick out in the back. But these are 9.5, those are 10.5. So that extra half an inch sticking out is exactly what I'm up against. But the tires are 11 inches and then some. So, whoo, we're going to... Fat is where it's at. That's all I got to say. So let's get these mounted up and we'll see what they look like. I got the wheels in. I got them, well, I had the wheels in, but finally got the tires mounted and ready to go on, got them balanced. So this is the moment of truth. seeing if all my measuring and all my planning works out as good as I had hoped. So here we go. The back ones fit absolutely superb. They don't look like they stick out at all. We'll give you a view of that in a few minutes. Truth be told, when I put it on the ground, it looks like the rear end is not centered. Now, if you know anything about Corvettes, they have an independent suspension, so the odds of the rear end being uncentered is pretty unlikely. But there may be adjustments right under there, so when I'm done, I'm going to probably take it down to the front end shop and get a four-wheel alignment, and maybe that'll recenter that back end. But literally, the other side is tucked in perfect. This side is sticking out just ever so slightly. So that says to me I need to do a little bit of adjusting, shall we say. So, but anyway, they're perfect, absolutely perfect. Plenty of clearance in the back. They don't look like they're going to rub at all on the sides. It's jacked up at the moment. But we're going to set her down and give you all a little bit of peep on there. So you'll set your peepers on there and get to admire the beauty of fat, if you know what I mean. So let's get this one on. Got bird feathers stuck to it. So let's get this one on. We'll get a little bit of a look-see on this side. And then we're going to move over to the other side, get the other one in. And then we'll let you all see just how sweet this looks. So, and I did, like we talked about, I ended up going with 17 inch instead of 18. I just couldn't find the combination I wanted cheap enough. So I ended up going with this. And but I'm very, very happy so far. They look awesome. So here we go. Unfortunately, if you look at the length, I looked at these and went, "Ooh, that's kind of." You'll see how long these are, and I don't really want to cut them because if I cut them, I'm going to end up with boogering up the threads, and I really don't want to do that. So I've got to consider if I'm going to cut these down or if I'm just going to put more washers. We'll see what happens. Well, I opted to cut them with a cutoff wheel and grind them. I tested one, worked out pretty good, so I went ahead and did it. Not much for having to order new ones and wait a week for new parts and all that, so we just make it work. If you see, went right on, so not a big deal. And there's ample room. We'll go ahead and turn the wheel in a minute and see just how much room we have. Yep, this is not causing any issues whatsoever. So, I'm happy with that. We may have to pretty it up in here a little bit now. Somebody make me a better battery. there you go. There's the side profile of it all. Everything works out great. The measuring actually turned out to be correct. There's no rubbing, and even though when I test fitted the wheels it looked like things were going to rub and or stick out, they really don't. If you look here, you can't see the tire sticking out. You start coming in now, it's tucked up in there. Now here is what it's all about. I don't know, we're going to have to get some lighting, I think, because the lighting is just not going to allow it, because it got dark on me while I was doing this. So let's get some lighting, and that way you can see what's going on. Well, there we go. Now you can see exactly what we're looking at. And it looks a whole lot better. There's a lot of tire stuffed in there now. So that's what we're looking for. I hope you all enjoyed this. And I hope you like the outcome. We'll walk around just a little bit more, kind of give you an all-around corners. And then maybe tomorrow, I actually plan on putting some paint on this baby. And so we'll get a painted / fat tire type pictures and video and stuff. So stay tuned. There's more to come. Let's take a quick walk around and see what you think. Can't get a real good view because we're still in the shop and it's dark out now. That light's in our eyes. We'll try to get a little better shot of it tomorrow. Let me know what you think.